Lately, my elder daughter is really into peanut butter. So naturally, I started to look into how to make peanut butter. Turns out, and we all know peanuts, they're about 50% fat and 26% protein, which is the prime candidate for good browning, good Maillard reaction, good flavors. So I thought, why don't we stuff a chicken with peanut butter and see how it goes? So here we are, Impromptu Monday. First things first, most birds, first thing you want to do is you remove the wishbone. Grab the skin. You can remove some of the excess fat, especially because we're going to stuff it. Then you can see a reverse V right here. What you want is you want to cut on the inside of the V, a very shallow incision. Same goes here. And you simply scrape it with the back of your knife to reveal the bone. Once you can see the bone, you just run your fingers on both sides. And now you have the full V. And you should be able to lift your bird with the full V. And you simply pull. They sometimes break, so be careful. Here's one side of the V. And here you have the other side of the V. Now, to stuff the bird, all you need to do is you need to separate the skin from the flesh. You can do so by simply running your fingers. And once you're in, and you will know that you're in, I like to use either the back of the spoon or the back of a chopstick to help me. So in this case, back of the chopstick, and you really go in. From experience, I find that stuffing the crown really makes a difference, but trying to stuff the legs makes the skin soggy. So I think today we're just gonna stuff the crown. And by separating the skin from the flesh, even if you're not stuffing it, it's a really good practice for the steam to escape so that you increase your chance of having crispy skin. It's a method used in Peking duck, for example. Make sure you go to the sides as well. Once that's done, all we need to do is to add the peanut butter. By the way, peanut butter is extremely easy to make, but if you happen to live next to a good farmer's market, you can also get peanut butter that's actually 100% peanut. All we've added here is salt. So very carefully, peanut butter in. We don't want the peanut butter outside the skin because peanut butter is made with toasted peanuts and they burn very easily. So you kind of want the skin to protect the peanut butter from browning too fast. Perfect. Once it's in, simply rub them towards the other side with your thumb. And because we're adding salted peanut butter, we're not going to salt the bird. Same goes to the other side. Perfect. And now we just massage the bird to make sure this beautiful layer of peanut butter is distributed evenly. Well, as evenly as you can. Beautiful. Previously on the channel, we've roasted a chicken with my cast iron pan method, which yields the crispiest skin and very even cooking. We've also roasted a few chicken crowns, which gives you more control. Today, just for a change, let's do a conventional bird so that it has a beautiful presentation. But we need to do a couple of things to help the bird cook relatively more evenly. First, we're going to truss the bird. We grab some butcher's twine. Make sure you use butcher's twine, by the way, because regular strings, they'll burn. Now, very simple. What we want to achieve is for the legs to push the thin side of the breast up to protect it a bit so that the breast meat would cook a bit more evenly. What you want to do is you run the twine under. Make sure you get the legs. Once you have the legs, you simply cross and you cross again to the other side and you go under now and you pull to tighten this as much as you can. After that, what you want to do is to run the longer side of the trussing string under the wing drum, around the bird, through the other wing drum, and now you've reached the other side. And we tie what's called a butcher's knot, meaning you go round once, twice, minimum 3 times. The reason why you do this is with a butcher's knot and butcher's twine, once you've pulled, it remains there to give you enough time to adjust. So we pull as much as we can, form a beautiful, beautiful shape, and then tie one more knot, and that's it. And now you have a relatively picturesque bird. All you need to do is to pull the skin here so that this browns better, and you tuck in the wingtips for even better presentation. And now we have a beautiful bird. Second thing we want to do is we want to oil it slightly to help even cooking in the beginning. Eventually, the bird would render out a lot of chicken fat, of course, but in the very, very beginning, when it just enters the oven, the oil would help the bird heat up evenly. Now, the second thing I like to do when roasting a bird conventionally, I always use a thick bottom tray and I heat it up with the oven. So my oven is currently at 200 degrees Celsius and my roasting tray has been inside the whole time. Now, we move this to the side and we welcome the tray. The reason why we do this is because the dog meat and the breast meat, they have different optimal temperatures. You don't want the breast to go significantly above 61 degrees Celsius, but the thigh meat only becomes tasty and well cooked after it hits 71 Celsius. So with the residual heat, it will help us cook the legs faster, hoping that in the ideal world, the moment the breast hits 61, the thighs are well cooked. So we oil the tray, just to prevent sticking, and now this picturesque bird goes in. Be careful, it's really hot. You can hear the sizzle already. And now this bird goes into the oven, 200 degrees Celsius, for about 45 minutes. But of course, we're gonna use a meat probe to make sure the breast meat does not overcook. So I'll see you in about 45 minutes. All right, after about 45 minutes, we check on the chicken. It's gonna smoke a bit. And we have a very, very beautiful creature here. Skin, oh. It's not gonna remain this crispy because during resting, it'll be steamed a bit, but still, the texture of the skin is quite remarkable. Now, of course, first things first, we probe the thickest part of the thigh meat to make sure it's above 71 Celsius. Now, once we're certain the bird is cooked, all we need to do is to leave it to rest for at least 15 minutes. I'd like to go about half an hour. To let the temperature even out, because think about it, you're cooking the chicken outside in. So the outside meat is subjected to very high heat, while the inside meat is on the cooler side. So resting removes the temperature gradient. B, and more importantly, you want the protein fibers to have time to relax, so it maintains its wonderful cooking juices inside. So I'll see you in half an hour. After about half an hour, we can carve our bird. Very simple, you take it by the leg, and first, you drain the meat juices in the carcass. And of course, if you want to make a sauce, mop this up with some bread, incredible. Now, we have this wonderful bird. First thing we do is remove the trussing string. Now first, we take off the legs. Simply make one incision. You can hear the crispy skin. And you pull until the joint is dislocated. And on the back here, you make sure you take the oyster with you, which is normally called a chef's piece. It's wonderful. Well, I lost it, but we'll take it after. Take the oyster. We simply cut this, separate the drum from the one beautiful thigh. Now, simply go to the other side. Same again. Try not to lose the oyster this time. Beautiful thigh. Now, simply pull out one wing, pull out the other wing. By this point, it should require no effort. If you're struggling to pull the wings off, chicken's probably undercooked. And now, since the wishbone has been removed, you simply find the middle, this bone in the middle, and you cut either side of the bone. Same goes here. You want to keep as much of the skin as you can for the other side. Perfect. Now to help easy carving, I'm gonna slice here where the wing joint meets the bird, and you simply follow the bone in the middle. There's very little effort required. You're almost pulling the breast out, and you want to take the tenderloin with you in the middle. You see, I'm not even slicing, I'm pushing with my knife. I'm only slicing when I reach the skin, so that there's zero waste sticking to the bird, and that you have one very beautiful breast. Now, we do the same on the other side. Cut just above the wing, and now you wiggle your knife and you push. Look, I'm not slicing yet. Only once I've reached the skin, I put my knife down to separate the skin, but the flesh is coming with me because I'm pushing it. Of course, we take the wing joint from here, you wiggle. What I like to do with the wing joint is once I've jammed my knife in, I'm grabbing the wing and I'm pulling all the way. And again, I cut only because of the skin. And now you have the back meat, which is extremely tasty and my mother's favorite, with the wing drum. Same goes here, you find the joint and you wiggle, you jam the knife in. Once your knife is in, again, you pull. Look at this beautiful flesh that normally goes to waste or making stock. This is how much flesh most restaurants waste. And look at that crispy skin. And you can pick off whatever meat. I mean, if you want to do it table side, wear gloves. Crispy skin here, crispy skin here. Anytime you go to a restaurant and they're carving you a chicken table side, make them show you the carcass, and I would accept nothing less than this. There should be no skin whatsoever, minimal flesh on the bone on both sides, and this will still make a very yummy chicken stock. And that's it! This is peanut butter roasted chicken. I really hope you enjoy.